Oh, hello, and welcome to Dente Rigamortis. I'm Review Cultist.
And I'm Dr. Leviathan.
And we're here to discuss those internet stories, most creepy and most pasta. Tonight we have, for the holiday season, a Halloween to remember and a Halloween to regret.
Or, as I like to call them, a Halloween to forget and a Halloween to regret.
Yeah.
That's basically my opinion of
accurate.
these. It's my opinion of them, pretty much in a nutshell.
Yeah. So for those of you just tuning in, creepypastas are scary short stories that get copied and pasted across the internet. Go Google a better definition, but that's pretty much it. And then, yes, for this Halloween season, we did some trick-or-treating, and we got tricked. Oh boy, did we get tricked.
I don't think I really got tricked, and I doubt you did either, because, I mean, this is pretty much what we were expecting.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting a whole lot, but I was like, I started reading it, because you told me, or like, when you read it, you were like, I hate you. And I was just like, what? Why? And then I started reading it myself, and it was like, oh, this isn't so bad. Oh, God. And we'll get into it with the rundown. So, the first one, Halloween to Remember.
So, should we just run down both of them?
Yeah, might as well, because they're continuations of each other. Again.
Yeah, it's a sequel.
That always works well at creepypastas. Which, by the way, this is done by somebody named SloshedTrain on Creepypasta.wiki.
His parents really hated him.
Yeah. He is the creator of the dankest creepypastas, according to his profile. So, kind of shows some things after I did some research on this one. I was like, wow. But, so it starts off, guy and his friends are going out on trick-or-treating and TPing houses and stuff like that.
Our heroes.
Yeah, and they're just a bunch of delinquent teens that are just going out that night. They spend a couple of hours doing that, and even escape the cops once or twice. And they're deciding to call it quits for the night, and then they see this street.
One more street.
There's one more street. Yeah. And it's really dark down there, and everybody else is kind of like, yeah, sure, why not? But our main protagonist is just getting some dark vibes about it.
As his friends would put it, being a pussy, David.
Yeah, exactly. So David is just like, I don't think, oh, guys, like, and so, but anyways, they go down that street, and it gets darker and darker.
They don't seem to be familiar with this street.
No, they do say that
they're in their neighborhood.
They do say their neighborhood's like a huge neighborhood. Like, it's got like many streets.
Yeah.
But, I mean, at the same time, like, if you should know what your neighborhood is like.
If it's technically still your neighborhood,
you should know.
You should know your streets. I mean, like, if you don't know the streets anymore, I don't think you're in your neighborhood
anymore. Also, if this is your neighborhood, you, like, every neighborhood, or, like, I mean, every kid would know that street with the derelict houses.
Well, even if they weren't derelict, I mean, if there was something fucking peculiar about this street, one of these fucking shitheads would have known about it.
Yeah. But regardless, they go down the street, and it's like dark. There's no lights on the streets or in the houses. The houses look all kind of run down, and our main character, David, is getting kind of creeped out by this whole thing, but he starts shooting the shit with his friends, and they start TPing. And then they hear a crack from behind them, and they decide to scatter because they think it's the cops or something like that. And so he hides behind a trash can and is wondering what the heck's going on. And then there's another crack, I think. And then he goes.
Yes, front. Yep.
Okay. And then, yeah, he goes to, like, look over the trash can and sees that his friends are all on the street, so he goes out there and is like, hey, what the heck was that all about? But they're not replying at all, and then they're like, hey, guys, what's up? And then there's... Do they, like, all speak in unison? Like, or is it just the voices in the air?
Yeah, he's all like, so what'd you think that was? Because, you know, fuck each other. Yeah, there's something about your soul I cannot take, but I'll find a way.
Yeah, and then this...
And they all said...
They all say that, and then they start chasing him, and he starts running through the darkness, and it gets blacker and blacker, and then suddenly he hits a wall, and he's hit a wall of a skyscraper, and it turns out that he's in a city of skyscrapers, and he's just like, what the hell? And it turns around because he hears something, and there's these wolf-like things in front of it, or before him, and he's just like, oh shit. And he regrets his decision that comes next, and he runs. And he's being chased by these wolf things. And then he gets cornered by like a bunch of people, and there's this tall guy who's hooded so you can't see his face, and he wants Dave's soul because it's special, but he can't get to it. And he seems to be protected. And just as the mob is encroaching on him, literally in the story, a cliched light from above comes down on him.
Oh yeah.
And the guy, the hooded figure, the tall hooded figure, is just like, it's like, curses, it's him, or along that lines.
Not him again.
Yeah, and then David wakes up in his bed the next morning. It's 7 o'clock on November 1st, 2011. All his candy and his toilet paper rolls are still there, all at his feet or whatever. And
there's a post-it.
Yeah, and there's a post-it note on his door. He's like, I haven't forgotten about you yet. And then it's credits for the first part anyway, for a Halloween to remember. And then we go to a Halloween to regret. Which...
Regurt.
Yeah, regurt. Which is about a year later, Halloween night again, and apparently his friends have all gone missing since then, like that night. And the cops don't believe him about the whole thing. He has the post-it note from before, but it's like in a box in his closet.
He's kept it in a box in his closet because, my friends are missing, but I don't care about that. But I care about this note. Yeah.
And his even though it's even though it's Halloween, because it's Halloween, he's not at school. So he goes down to go get breakfast, and his parents are all...
Wait, what was it?
I think it's just like...
And I miss my friends, and not a day goes by that I haven't thought about them. The police never found a trace of them after that night, and obviously they didn't believe a single word I said. Mm-hmm. Typical cops. Okay. Well, I'm sorry, your shit's pretty unbelievable.
It is pretty weak sauce.
It's like, it's pretty fucking fantastic, so...
Yeah.
You gotta cut people some slack for not believing you.
Yeah.
So... that's me saying my piece.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, what is it? Yeah, why does it...
It was like... It was just
so... Right, due to the special circumstances that he doesn't have to go to school. Don't fucking understand.
Yeah, was it... Yeah, I don't really care enough to actually find out, but it's just like, was it because of his, friends and stuff like that? Because they went missing that day? Or because it's Halloween? Does your school, let you off school on Halloween? Because that would have been fucking awesome. But yeah, no, we're not really... It's just because of these special circumstances. That's it. All right, whatever. He goes downstairs to get his breakfast, and his parents and siblings are all glaring at him, and he's just quiet the whole time, and they ask him, it's like, oh, the weather's nice today, and he just kind of ignores them and goes back upstairs after breakfast, and goes to check the box with the post-it note, and it's not there. The post-it note is not there. So he runs downstairs, starts screaming at his parents and family. It's like, where did you leave? What happened to the post-it note? It's like, what post-it note?
And again, here's our fucking protagonist.
Yeah. And then he gets all angry and runs outside, grabs his bike, and bikes out and into the neighborhood. He doesn't know why. He just had to do it. And then he ultimately goes to the cemetery where his friends are buried. Except, okay, there's probably 3 or 4 kids. They just buried with an empty casket.
Yeah.
Okay, that happens.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, because funerals are yeah, funerals are a part of the grieving process. That's why most people have them.
I mean, understandable, yeah.
So, when someone's, missing for a period of time, yeah, they usually have a funeral because, well...
Closure.
Yeah,
for the rest of the family, I guess.
Well,
yeah,
I mean, after a certain point, you can assume the worst, and, well, the family's going to be grieving anyway, so they have a funeral. It happens sometimes. More often than it ever should.
Yeah. And so, yeah, he goes to his friends' graves, and he misses them and stuff. And then he sees a Post-it note on one of his friends' gravestones, and it's, "I haven't forgotten about you." And
dun, dun, dun.
then does he just get pulled into the darkness? Into the dark world or
Yeah,
whatever?
he freezes, and then he runs towards his bike, and the black dude? Well, a black tall figure,
Okay.
So...
Slender Man with a hood. Aw. God, I hope not.
Yeah, he's all like, "Let's go," and yeah, he wakes up in a fucking chair.
In a concrete chamber with a single light, and
he wakes up in a fucking storage unit.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. And the door opens up, and our tall figure shows up, and he wants his soul, but he's going to torture him first to get to it. So he starts torturing him, and then we proceed to get a couple of paragraphs of just gratuitous, like kind of lame, gratuitous description of gore, because it's like he's stabbing my organs,
lame
he's
and
ripping apart my organs,
bland and so over the top that it's really just sad.
Yeah, like he keeps I just kept honing in on every time he said organs. I was like, you gotta get a better word for that, to describe this.
Yeah, pick an organ and do one at a time.
Yeah, and then he apparently the guy grabbed his intestines and tried to choke him with it, from fucking Ricky O.
From a lot of
things. Yeah, no, it's not just that, but it was just almost laughably bad descriptions of how this torture scene, and then he's using all the implements from this thing, grabs a bone saw and starts cutting off the guy's limbs, and he could feel all the muscles being cut and blah blah blah, and then he blacks out, and he wakes up and he's perfectly fine. He's been completely restored to normal, but he's still in the chair, and then the guy starts laughing from behind the door and comes in.
He's all like, "We're just getting started."
And then the door opens up and his family comes in blank-faced. And he's like, "No, they've taken my family and friends, you bastard!" And then he gets tortured a little bit more for a couple of hours. Yeah, it just keep going by it. And the guy is finally ready to try and take the guy's soul because the thing that was protecting him last year is gone. And so he starts digging into to grab his soul, and the guy's just at the precipice of death and doom or whatever, and then he's like, "No, I'm gonna fight back," and then he goes and pulls the other guy's soul out of his body and rips it out, and suddenly is given all the thousands of souls that this guy's collected is now flowing through David, and he's like, "I could release all these souls, or I could become stronger." And at that point, I realized, shit, this guy's trying to create an origin story for a creepypasta character.
No, he's not. No, he's not. No, he's not. No, he's not. If we don't believe it, it has no power.
Right.
That's what I'm gonna say.
God. And so, he wakes. He now has all the souls, and he is now following in the footsteps of this hooded figure, and is going to start collecting souls because it's Halloween. The end. So. Yeah. So, I mean. Yeah, when I first read the first part of it, I was like, "Oh, what's Leviathan talking about? This isn't too bad." And then it got to the part where he gets tossed into this fantastical thing about, and the thing wanted his soul, and I was just like, "Oh God," because I've seen it, and then it has a self-parodying feel to it, because it's also the totally cliched light from above came down. I was like, what? It just felt almost like a farce what was going on. with the writing anyway. And then, yeah, just kind of like that first bit was kind of interesting, and then it just kind of plummets into this horrible gush that we get. So
where was the interesting part?
I mean, I just like the idea of, I mean, again, like the kids like going out trick or treating. I thought they were all just going to get slaughtered or something by some monster. That's what I thought the end game was for this story. But
yeah, I'm just.
And then as soon as they go into the dark,
trying to find out where it was fucking.
Okay,
because I mean, in the first paragraph, they're going out to be asshats and
and I was like, wait, and that's why I was waiting for them to get like their comeuppance for doing it. So, I actually thought the first bit of this, like from the beginning to about the part where his friends chase him into a skyscraper world, that's kind of where it kind of stopped being interesting for me, and just started being, oh, okay, you're just escalating beyond fantastical doubt. Okay.
Yeah.
So, like I said,
it stopped being interesting for me when I started reading it.
Yeah, I know, but I have a stronger tolerance, I think.
You just have that happy disposition where you think everything's gonna turn out okay.
Yeah. Except for this one, it doesn't at all, because it was really bad.
I would have figured that creepypastas would have beat that shit out of you by now, but...
Nope.
Apparently not.
You still keep reading.
And you still keep having, thinking the best.
Yeah.
And that's just... I don't get it.
It's
Whatever.
my treat to the world. Anyway. Yeah, so, like, it does just plummet. It's not a very good story at all. And the sequel is even worse. Because it's just so...
It starts down one spiral and just keeps going down it.
Yeah.
And I mean, the fucking writing is terrible. Like, horrible writing. And it's just... It's at this... It's almost like it's at a breakneck pace where the story is just so uninterested in itself that it doesn't want to tell itself.
Yeah, it felt
so it's just kind of like, fuck it, this is going fast. Alright, let's go. We're going trick-or-treating, but we're really just being asshats. I don't know why he calls it trick-or-treating at all. And I just spent more time talking about it than the story talks about it.
Yeah.
And then, like, oh man, then all my friends are stopped and someone's after my soul, and then bam, I'm in this fucking other hell world, and then fucking bam, some beam of light likes me.
We never get an explanation.
Now I'm in my bed with my candy. I don't know where I got the candy, because I was just running around being an asshat and a hooligan the whole damn night.
And then,
bam, over. And then... bam, it's a year later, and I'm gonna do shit. And then, bam, my note's missing. So, instead of, having some sort of build-up with that, I just go to a fucking cemetery, and then, bam, there's a guy after me, and then, bam, I'm in a chair.
Being
and
tortured.
Bam, I'm tortured, and then, bam, I win. And then, bam,
I become the villain.
Dun, dun, dun. It's just fucking, like, it's just...
It felt, that's another thing.
It's always going from, like... It's like the guy who wrote this just had this... all of the, like, I gotta hit all of these, like, notes. And instead of going from note to note, he just wrote the notes he wanted to hit. Yeah.
And, like, it felt very much like a jot note, like a summary of... his fucking story. Like, there's no development whatsoever, which, I mean, God forbid this would make that would make it longer.
Yeah, but at least it might have been decent.
Maybe.
Like
I'm still
would have helped this.
Yeah, like, I mean, to be perfectly honest, I'm still not even sure if this is actually, like, this guy, like, wanted to write a creepypasta or wanted to write a parody of a creepypasta. Like, because, like I said, like, earlier on, like, I did some digging of, like, some of his other stories, at least, like, all one or two of them. No, there's, like, he has, like almost 10, like, stories on Wiki, and I read the first one that was on the list, Glitch. And it is literally a treat to you and Gamer in Yellow from our Sonic EXE game episode.
Yeah, but I don't care.
I know, but it's like, but where like the guy encounters a creepy thing in a video game and just shuts it off, and that's the end of the story. So it's like I can't tell if he's writing like parodical stuff, or sorry, not satirical stuff about creepypasta, or if he's just writing bad creepypasta.
He's just writing bad pasta.
Yeah, I mean, maybe.
Like,
I mean, yeah, it could be that too. It was just like, but it just seemed like maybe it's just, I don't know. It just seemed like it was, he knew, he was trying to be self-aware. Like, he was trying to make this pasta kind of like self-aware of creepypasta things or tropes.
Yeah.
So I couldn't tell if, like, like to take this serious or not, as much as you can with a creepypasta.
When in doubt, you have to take it seriously, and that's just...
That doesn't work for the story at all.
Yeah, like, I mean, yeah, it's bad. It's poorly written. Like, all over the place. It's just poorly written.
Like, not just ignore the past, present, and past and present tense, because that is just rife in this.
Oh,
they're interchangeable, apparently.
Grammar is just, like, everything about the writing is bad. Not just, like, the structure of the story, but everything is just, oh god, like, fuck. Yeah, they walk down a coal black street, like, that's
just a weird description.
Yeah, and like, yeah, everything's just weird, like, fuck. And, yeah, spelling is just horrible. So horrible. Yeah, there is nothing redeemable about this.
No. Yeah, I mean, despite my thing of saying, like, the first part of it was interesting, that's really just, like, I liked the idea of, like, some hooligans going out on trick-or-treating and something bad happening to them because of their comeuppance. But that's all, that was just the idea that he presented in that those couple paragraphs, and then
that's not the idea that was presented.
No, I know.
He just presents a group of people, like a group of hooligans going out at Halloween, and you extrapolate that they're going to get their comeuppance because you're reading a creepypasta.
Yeah, and that didn't happen. I was like, oh.
Well, it kind of did. It just didn't happen in the way you wanted it to. So basically, there was just,
like, I'm not saying I liked the story at all, because I did not like, I'm going to say
and
this
I'm never
right
going to accuse you of that.
Okay, good. And I do apologize for giving you this pasta without actually reading it first. Because I kind of just had it on our list.
Yeah, you do that all the time.
Yeah.
And whatever, 'tis the season.
Yes, exactly. Trick or treat. Well, we got tricked.
No, we didn't. Let's face it, we're not surprised.
No. But, no, I mean, I couldn't recommend this one, even if I went. Even if this was the only creepypasta that was based off Halloween, I could not.
This line, there's something about your soul I cannot take, but I'll find a way. So he uses cannot instead of can't. So I'm thinking, like, okay, so this guy just doesn't use contractions. And then 2 words later, he's using a contraction. And I'm like, what the fuck?
God damn.
Yeah, that was fun for me. But yeah, just like, there's everything.
And like the light that comes down, it's like, oh god, it's that guy again. Who? God? An angel? The turtle from Stephen King? Like, what? Who is that? Like, and then, nope, we're not getting an answer.
Some guy in the penthouse with a spotlight? Like, the light guy?
Like, exactly. It's like, and it's like, just like, there's so many unanswered questions in this, and it's...
him again.
Yeah,
who again?
Exactly. And but unfortunately, the pasta is so bad that it doesn't merit us wanting to know who that is.
Yeah,
so...
even... Like, just any curiosity, just no.
Yeah.
I don't have any. Sorry about your luck. There's...
It definitely did feel like a first draft. Or like jot notes that were rushed down because the guy had a huge idea in his head and he just wrote it all down. And then just posted on the internet, like you do.
Yeah, and like this honestly represents everything I hate about creepypasta, all in one nice, convenient little package. Because there might be an idea here, and there might even be a salvageable idea here. Like, somewhere, if you were the guy who thought it up, because, I mean, this is so all over the place. And, like, in the first bit, anyway, there are a couple of ideas that just are so unexplored that even if you were to try and make something good from what you've got here, you couldn't do it because the guy didn't write down everything he was thinking, or like you know, he's just like, he's in such a rush to get to the next bit, and like, again, take your fucking time.
Yeah.
You know, write your goddamn story, because, like, I get it, you need to get it out of your hand, like, that's a thing, I know that, but if you don't do it right, then you don't get it out, and you don't get that feeling out of your system of
conclusion.
Or at least,
like,
I fucking don't. I never have any time I've written anything, and, man, like, I've written fucking rushed shit that didn't get the urge out, and it's still better than this stuff.
And not on the
So how the heck... Well, yeah, and I didn't fucking let anyone read it either. And, yeah, meanwhile, you've got people doing shit like this, and it's like, how the fuck are you happy? How is this satisfying? Like, I mean, when I write, I can't even do it on a fucking computer because that's too slow for me. I've got to go freehand because then I'm getting it out faster. That's how fucking rushed I am. But this is just, this is dreck. It's drivel. It's not even derivative because it's incomplete.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, it would have totally been derivative, I'm sure, but...
Yeah, I mean, I was getting, like, I was seeing stuff and it was like, oh, this guy kind of maybe pulled stuff from this story, or this one. Like, I could see, like, things while I was reading, I was like, oh, that sounds really familiar. And maybe it's just because I was trying to think of better stuff at the time while I was reading this and trying to connect dots.
That's not hard to do.
Yeah. But yeah, and then then the regret one, or regret, comes up, and it's just like, it's been a year since the incident, blah blah blah, and it's just, that one just spirals into derivative, like, just crap. I'm sorry, it's just like torture porn, and
it's not even. Then again, though, I'm pretty sure this isn't the first time I've said this. It's not even really torture porn because it's so
badly done.
Badly done, yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
but then, you're right. But like, then
I can see the spaghetti. Oh, you're using sausage case. Like,
yeah,
you know, it's
my organs, my precious organs. Stop ripping them apart.
Yeah, it's just like, it's bad.
Yeah.
Like, and to the point where I can't even really call it torture porn because it's just bad.
Yeah.
But
and then he has this Gary Stu thing at the end where he's special because he's special. He's able to.
Oh yeah, he's fucking spiritual, all right.
Yeah, he's able to rip out the soul of the other guy, of the enemy, and that, like, completely, like, what? No.
And I mean, just fucking left field.
Yeah,
kind of like the whole light thing.
Yeah, exactly. It's a Deus Ex Machina of crap.
It's just like, well, I've written a lot here, so I'm going to
be the good guy. Or
end it.
Yeah.
Now. I'm not going to start the ending now. I'm going to end it. And I write something. And it's over.
Yeah.
And you're just like, fuck. Alright. Well, you know what? At least it's over.
Yeah.
That's really all that can be said about that.
Yeah. I mean... Yeah, there's not a whole lot else. I think we've kind of rambled on, just ripped into this one. There are some readings of it on YouTube, which actually surprised me how many there were. There were, why are there so many of these readings of this pasta? And the one I listened to this morning was DaveTheUseless on YouTube. And he does a fair job for reading it, but that doesn't mean anything because the story is not really good at all. But there are some readings of it. If for some ungodly reason you feel inclined to...
If after listening to us, you feel like you need to fucking experience this.
I feel for your soul. But go ahead.
You are clearly a fucking masochist.
Yeah. Yeah, so... I don't know, do you have anything else to contribute? Have you said your piece on this one?
I said it's shit. And then I said it's shit, and then...
Did you say it was shit?
Well, after I said it was shit, I said it was shit.
Oh, okay. Right.
And I think, the only thing I've got left to say is that they're both shit, so it's shit.
Yeah. So, a solid would not recommend. A solid
A mushy steamer, I believe, is how I would actually call it. Not solid at all.
Mushy steamer would not recommend. That's got to go on a fucking t-shirt. Holy shit. So yeah, that's our episode for tonight. If you would like to send a message or comment in the comment section below wherever it gets posted, whether it be on Kiwi6, Facebook, YouTube, Tumblr, or Twitter. We're both on Twitter at Dr. Leviathan and at Review Cultist. You can also send a review on iTunes. That would help us out a little bit. And you can also send emails at aldenterigamortis@gmail.com. That's aldenterigamortis@gmail.com. Where you can also send us suggestions for other creepypastas you'd like us to discuss on the show. Hey, if you have something that you'd like us to discuss for next Halloween, because assuming we'll be here next Halloween, I think we will.
I'll be here. I don't know where you'll be.
Yeah. Leave us. We'll put it on the list for next year. And you can also, if you'd like to support us, you can donate at the Tumblr site, crazonstudios.tumblr.com, where all the title cards for each episode are present, and on the side there is a little donate button.
That shit's actually pretty important to us, man. I can't believe I almost forgot to put that in.
I'm sorry. So until next time, I have been your host, Review Cultist.
I'm still Dr. Leviathan.
And this has been Al Dente Rigamortis. Trick or treat and sleep well.